Hey everyone, welcome. Today, we're going to dive into something that's, well, absolutely crucial for any business out there: competitor analysis. And let's be clear, this isn't just about spying on your rivals. This is a real, actionable guide to understanding your market, finding your unique edge, and yeah, ultimately outmaneuvering the competition.
I'm sure you've heard this one before, right? But man, it really hits home in the business world. In a market that's more crowded than ever, knowing what your rivals are up to isn't just a smart move, it's basically table stakes for survival, let alone success. And that really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today. So I want you to stop thinking of business as just a race. Think of it like a game of chess. It's all about understanding your opponent's possible moves, seeing where the market is heading, and positioning yourself so you can always be one, two, maybe even three steps ahead.
Okay, but why does this really matter? I mean, why should you dedicate your precious time and resources to this stuff? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of when and why this whole exercise becomes an absolute non-negotiable for your business.
So, you might be thinking, should I be doing this all the time? And the answer is not exactly. While you should always have an ear to the ground, there are these key moments, these specific triggers in a business's life where doing a deep dive can mean the difference between thriving and just getting by.
Basically, it's time to do a deep dive whenever you feel kind of stuck or right before you're about to make a big, bold move. For instance, if your growth has flatlined, this can give you that fresh perspective you desperately need. And you'd never launch a new product or a major marketing campaign without doing this first, right? It helps you avoid risks and can uncover some killer insights you would have totally missed.
All right, first things first. Before you can analyze anyone, you have to know who you're actually up against. And trust me, it's not always as obvious as you think. Getting this step right is everything.
Now, this is where things get really interesting. Direct competitors, they're the obvious ones, right? They sell pretty much the same thing you do. But the indirect competitors, that's where the gold is. They're the ones who sneak up on you because they're solving the exact same problem for your customer, just in a totally different way.
Okay, let's play a little game to make this super clear. When I say Uber, who's their biggest competitor? Go on, think about it for a sec.
Okay, yeah, Lyft. That's the easy one, the direct competitor. But look at this. Public transit, owning your own car. They all solve that get me from point A to B problem. And check this out, a quick smoothie. That solves the problem of what should I do for the next 15 minutes? So if your customer's problem is I need a fast, healthy drink, well, a smoothie shop is an indirect competitor to your healthy snack bar. See how that works? It's a much bigger world than you think.
And in today's world, you can't forget about this third layer: your SEO competitors. These are the folks, we're talking industry blogs, magazines, maybe even Wikipedia, who are ranking for your keywords and grabbing your audience's attention on Google, even if they don't sell a single thing.
Okay, so we know who we're watching. Now, how do we actually watch them? This next phase is all about gathering intelligence. And no, we are not talking about some Mission Impossible-style corporate espionage here. We're talking about systematically tracking public info to figure out their gameplay.
You basically need to become a professional student of their business. This means you're reading their blog posts, you're tracking their price changes, and you're definitely paying attention to what their customers are saying in reviews. And here's a pro tip for you. Automate as much of this as you can. Set up Google Alerts for their name, use social listening tools. Think of it this way. Every little piece of public information is a breadcrumb leading you to their strategy and their weaknesses.
And look, this isn't just a quick peek at their homepage. This table here shows you just how deep you need to go. A really solid audit breaks down everything from their core marketing messages and website flow all the way down to the nitty-gritty keywords they're using to pull in customers.
All right, you've gathered a mountain of data. Now what do you do with it all? How do you make sense of it? This is where a classic, and I mean classic, tool comes into play, the good old SWOT analysis. It's a powerful way to structure all your findings.
First up, S is for strengths. This is all about pinpointing what your competitor is genuinely great at. Do they have a brand that everyone recognizes? A product that's way ahead of the curve? A crazy loyal customer base? You have to be brutally honest here. What gives them their edge?
Then we've got W for weaknesses. This is where you're looking for the cracks in their armor. Maybe their customer support is terrible, or their tech feels like it's from 2005. Why does this matter? Because every single weakness you find is a door opening for you.
Okay, now we shift our focus to the outside world, starting with O for opportunities. These are trends in the market that they could take advantage of. Are there new customer groups popping up? Is there some new tech on the horizon? Knowing their opportunities helps you guess where they might go next.
And last but not least, T for threats. These are the big, scary things out there that could really hurt their business. We're talking about new regulations or a big shift in what customers want. Understanding their threats helps you predict how they'll react under pressure.
And here's how it all fits together so neatly in that classic 2x2 grid. Strengths and weaknesses are things inside the company, while opportunities and threats are forces from the outside market. When you lay it all out like this, man, it just gives you so much clarity.
Now, another totally awesome tool you can use is a feature comparison matrix. What I love about this is that it just lays everything out crystal clear. You map out the features that customers actually care about, like warranty, service, or specific product functions, and you can see at a glance where you're crushing it, where you're falling behind, and most importantly, where the gaps in the market are.
Okay, this brings us to what is, without a doubt, the most important part of this whole thing. Because let's be real, analysis without action is useless. It's just a fun little project. So how do you take all this amazing insight and turn it into a real-world plan that gives you an edge?
So what you do is you build a simple 4-step action plan. Step 1, and listen up because this is so important, is to strengthen your strengths. Before you fix anything, you double down on what already makes you awesome. Then, you address your weaknesses, focusing on the ones your competition is taking advantage of. Next, you jump on those market opportunities, using your unique strengths to get there first. And finally, you build contingency plans. You wargame it. What if they drop prices by 30%? Having a plan ready turns a potential crisis into just another challenge.
At the end of the day, the goal here is to completely shift your mindset from just reacting to what happens to being proactive. It's about being able to see what's coming, to adapt on the fly, and to always stay one step ahead of the curve.
And that brings us right back to where we started, that game of chess. You've studied the board. You know your opponent's favorite moves. You see their weaknesses. So really, there's only one question left. What's your next move?